Hi everyone, it is Fitz with your daily delivery. Hope you're doing well. I am very good. I promised you a daily delivery on men's basketball, but then I remembered the game's at 7, press conference. I was going to go to bed too late because it's my off week and I'm trying to be a good boy and go to bed early. So today you get football. Tomorrow I think you'll get basketball, but I got to see what happens at the basketball game. This got too complex. What's not complex is your need to subscribe to this YouTube channel. It's pretty simple. Click that, you're in the club. No fees, nothing, in the club. Leave comments also, thank you so much. This has been the big question of this football season. Why I decided we're going to take it on right now, I don't know, but I've decided this is the day. It's been a question asked of me since the season before it ever started, and certainly since it started and we returned from Ireland. Was scheduling the opening game of the season in Ireland a smart thing to do? Was it worth it? Now, I can't talk about the finances of whether it was worth it or not. And I really can't fully grasp that the experience was worth to the players and the coaches and families. But if we're just talking X's and O's, I think at some point you have to realize as we watch Iowa State begin to melt down, a pretty good team now that's lost 4 in a row, that there was a lot of risk with this. And I'm going to be real honest here. A lot of coaches told both of these coaches, don't take a week off, go ahead and just play the next week. That was bad advice. At least I believe so. I think both teams have had it catch up to them. Iowa State won the game and they got to rolling a little bit. Now I think they're wearing down. K-State, well, it lost and then it just seemed to lose all inspiration for playing football. Almost got beat by North Dakota State, lost to Army, and then lost on the road to Arizona. But it goes deeper than that, how this schedule worked against this K-State team from the very start. And while I assumed wrongfully, as wrong as you could be, that this team would handle it, it hasn't. North Dakota's a good FCS team. I think they're probably going to end up with about 5 losses. They'll be, near the rankings. They're the Missouri Valley. They play really good teams. And to barely beat them wasn't a sign of horrendous things, but it also wasn't everything is all right. Something was wrong, and you could tell something was wrong. And then as the week leading up to Army set in, this theme about the Army offense, the triple option, how hard it is, all the cut blocks, it just seemed to build a head of steam. They seemed to convince themselves that they couldn't handle it. The psychology of football is fascinating. The psychology of sports is fascinating, but football in particular, because a locker room can take on a life of its own in a good way and a bad way, and you kind of get this collective personality thing rolling sometimes. This personality was not eager to play. I want to say it, feeble sometimes. And Army got whatever they wanted in that game. And as it turns out, Army isn't any good. Anyone who's playing the triple option isn't as fearful of it, playing against it, and they've beaten Army. But it gets worse because you not only go on the road for your final non-conference game. You've already lost a conference game to start the season in Ireland. You've won your FCS game. You've lost Army. You're going to go in your non-conference game on a short week. You're playing on Friday on the road at Arizona, a conference foe in a non-conference game. And Arizona wanted revenge from last year. That's how they got to 1-3. That's how the program seemed to come apart. And for me to sit here and say it wasn't the schedule, I most emphatically cannot say that. I can't say for sure it was the schedule and how this season started. But I think if we all sit here and are honest with ourselves, if there was no Ireland game, that didn't happen. K-State opened the season with North Dakota and then beat Army and then played Arizona in one of these off weeks. Well, that was the Iowa State game. I don't know where it'd be right now. I don't know if this team would be 7-1, whatever the record be, 7-2. They're 9 games in, but they're 4-5. It has gotten away from them. And their other, losses have been close, but not good enough until last Saturday against Texas Tech. I think it's easy to say now, even without the season done, that going to Ireland has not worked out for either team, and certainly not the loser, as has been proven throughout the years of the Irish game, of the Aer Lingus Classic. The loser usually struggles and kind of comes apart. So, can K-State recover? Well, if you're a believer that it was the season that set this off, you got to also be a believer that next season, being much more normal, should reset things. I guess we'll find out, but I know this. If you can build a time machine and convince them not to go to Ireland, I probably would. And I'd also lose one of my life's most cherished experiences. But this is about football. That's why I'm in business. That's why you're watching this. That's why you either go to Ireland or you can't afford it and you're upset because you love football. Yeah, probably would redo it a different way. Probably stick around home a little bit more and probably not worry about so much stuff out of your control. Travel, schemes, and other things. I learned a lot from Bill Snyder, but control the things you can control. And the rest, as best you can, you got to let it go and not think about it. Why? Because you got no control over it.